Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a seriously paradigm-shifting piece of writing today. Think about it for a second. When you hear the words wealthy or rich, what instantly pops into your head? For most of us, it's a super specific, almost cinematic image, right? We're talking massive bank accounts, giant stock portfolios, or this highly curated, perfect lifestyle. Culture, movies, social media, they constantly reinforce this. They tell us that piling up a ton of capital is literally the ultimate finish line of a successful life. But, today we're looking at some amazing insights from our source material that completely flip this fundamental assumption on its head. We're going to explore what it actually means to be rich. And honestly, I think you'll find the answer is way more accessible and profoundly deeper than just having a heavy wallet.
Okay, let's dive into this. Big salary, big house, expensive cars. Whenever someone says wealth, our brains are basically hardwired to jump straight to these exact metrics. We picture the overflowing accounts, the luxury brands, the extravagant vacations. And hey, it makes total sense we do that, right? It's kind of the default setting for how modern society measures success. We're taught that accumulation equals winning, but the author makes a brilliant observation here that just cuts right through all that noise. True wealth, it doesn't actually start in the bank. It starts somewhere completely different, in spaces we totally overlook when we're running on the hamster wheel chasing that next paycheck. So let's just slow down for a second and look at a pretty wild contrast drawn straight from real life. On one hand, you've got people with massive financial success. We're talking millionaires on paper, CEOs running giant companies, living what looks exactly like the dream. But behind closed doors, they're actually living in the state of constant panic, fear, and just a really deep, gnawing inner emptiness. They're terrified of losing it all, or they're completely burned out from maintaining their status. Now, contrast that with folks earning modest incomes, people who are probably never going to make the cover of a wealth magazine, but who have this profound, unshakable, quiet peace. The kind of peace you literally cannot buy, no matter how high your credit limit is. Looking at this stark difference reveals something beautiful. Being rich is actually a state of being. It's not an income level.
Section 1. The things money can't buy.
And that brings us to a massive paradigm shift. If true wealth isn't just a number in the bank, what actually is it? Well, true wealth is built by how we live, not how we spend. The real currency of a rich life is made up of elements no amount of cash can secure. The unbuyables. We all crave these, right? Time with your kids. And I mean being totally present, rustling on the carpet, actually listening to them, not just scrolling past photos of them while stuck at the office late at night. It's getting a genuinely peaceful night of sleep without your mind spinning over tomorrow's problems. It's having a truly supportive partner. It's your physical and mental health. And maybe most importantly, it's the absolute freedom to say no to things and people that drain you. These specific elements are the absolute bedrock of a genuinely rich life. It's the wealth you build through the choices you make every single day.
Section 2. The true role of money. Now, talking about inner wealth doesn't mean we're pretending money doesn't matter. Obviously, it brings comfort, provides a huge safety net, and gives us actual physical and mental space. Bills still need to get paid, for sure. Money is absolutely part of the wealth equation. And this brilliantly illustrates a vital concept. Financial wealth without emotional wealth is just a beautiful facade with empty walls. Just let that sink in for a second. You can build the most glittering, jaw-dropping exterior to show off to the world. You can have the perfect lawn, the grand double doors, the whole shebang. But if the inside of that house is empty, if there's no emotional richness, no laughter, no peace, no real connection with the people living there, then it's just a facade. It's a movie set, not a real home. Without peace, balance, and good people, money really can't open any truly meaningful doors.
Section 3. The 3 pillars of wealth.
All right, let's lay out the actual, actionable foundation of true wealth. The author beautifully breaks this down into 3 core pillars that just logically stack right on top of each other. Step 1 is what you feel. We're talking about the peace you carry in your soul, totally independent of the economy or your bank account. And once you have that peace, it naturally drives step 2, how you live. This is all about equilibrium, finding that balance between work, family, and your health. Think about that person who fiercely guards their evenings, turning off work notifications so they can cook a decent meal or just chill out with their family. They aren't letting one part of life completely devour the rest. That balance is true wealth in action. And finally, living that balanced life feeds directly into step 3, what you leave behind. We're not talking about a giant trust fund here. It's your emotional legacy. It's how you treated your kids, the patience you gave them, the memories you created. Notice how every single step relies on the one right before it to stand strong. So the crucial point is, Money comes after you know who you are, not before. Now, this doesn't dismiss the value of financial security, it just puts things in the right, healthy order. Because if you chase money hoping it'll magically give you an identity or a sense of purpose, you're just going to end up with that empty movie set facade we talked about. But if you do the inside work, if you really ground yourself in your identity, your inner peace, your core values first, well, then the money just becomes a tool. It becomes a resource to amplify a life that is already incredibly rich and deeply fulfilling.
Section 4. How to be rich today. Let's pivot from the deep philosophy straight into the highly practical. You literally don't have to wait for a winning lottery ticket or a giant promotion to be wealthy. Our source gives us a brilliant framework to become rich today using super small, actionable micro habits. Try spending just 10 extra minutes with your kid today, completely phone-free. Just be fiercely 100% present for that tiny window of time. Or take a few minutes to do something that actually calms your nervous system. Grab a quiet cup of tea, go for a short walk. Take one tiny, almost microscopic step toward financial security. Maybe just track a single expense or set up a small automatic transfer into your savings. And finally, actively shift your focus to what you already have instead of obsessing over what you lack. I know these sound like drops in a bucket, but these incredibly small daily habits, they compound over time. They build up to create massive, lifelong fortunes of actual well-being. As we start pulling all these threads together, it really comes down to a choice between two paths. The first path is just the endless pursuit of a full account. That's a trajectory focused entirely on impressing the outside world, hoarding status symbols, and just exhausting yourself trying to keep up appearances. The alternative path is chasing a full life, and that is the true, lasting definition of wealth. It's about protecting the peace inside your own home, nurturing your emotional richness, and living intentionally. At the end of the day, true wealth isn't about having a bunch of stuff to show off. Fundamentally, it's about having fewer fears keeping you awake at night. I want to leave you with this final, deeply reflective question from the author. What is the part of your life where you feel the richest, even if it has nothing to do with money? I really encourage you to take a moment today. Just pause. Look around at your life, your relationships, your health, your peace of mind, your passions. Answer that question honestly for yourself. Because once you lock onto that source of joy, you might just realize you're already way wealthier than you ever imagined. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you carry this true wealth with you today.